A farmer is somebody that takes the resources, and they're really sacred, they're God-given resources. Take those resources and take care of them and improve them and develop them and build them and use them for your lifetime and pass them on in better shape than they were. That's not the opinion of a lot of operators.
We're actually shooting ourselves in the foot, in my opinion, in using food production as an excuse to make intense agriculture.
It's a scary thing to see the land being broken up, the grassland being broken up into cropland.
We're seeing the same thing behind me that our ancestors saw years ago. So if you're tearing that up and wrecking it, it's gone. Once it's not native, it's not native.
We've lost diversity on the landscape, we've lost diversity in the plant community, we've lost diversity in the wildlife that's remaining, and we're losing all of that.
You do see a lot of it leaving, whether it's CRP that had been in grass under that program is now being broke up, and you see some virgin sod, which is kind of heartbreaking to me.
I think our prairies are very much at risk. Most all the wildlife around here nests or raises their young of the year on prairie, and as that is eventually more and more of it is destroyed, we're going to see less wildlife, more erosion, and I'm very concerned about it. I don't like the trend at all.
The current trends of loss of grassland and wetlands is catastrophic. We're down to, with grassland, to 1% of tall grass, and our wetlands in South Dakota, we've lost more than half of them.
In this township, we're talking about less than maybe 2 sections of prairie left. If you go to the township to the east of us, you have no prairie left. The one east of that, there's no prairie left. At some point, we got to start realizing what we give up.
I wouldn't want to deny my friends who farm, a safety net, a functional crop insurance program. I don't think any of us would say it should guarantee a profit and maybe skew decisions.
It's made several farmers bulletproof. The crop insurance says that you're going to have a guaranteed return of $650 an acre. You're not going to graze cattle on grass. You're going to grow the corn. There's no crop insurance for cattle.
By having the crop insurance the way it is right now, we're causing grassland to be broken, and we're causing our young people to leave the country. We don't need more 70, 80-year-old farmers. What we need is 20, 30-year-old farmers.
I really worry about my grandchildren, what it's going to be like for them. Are we just going to be, a row of corn and a row of soybeans from here, from one border to the next?
And the trends are not good. We need to wake up, and we need to start doing the right thing.
I think the soul of the prairie is in its native grasses, the variety that you see.
You could probably count maybe 120 different types of plants out here, but the diversity is what gives it strength.
It gives meaning to our work to see a plant population that's been here for thousands of years, and maintaining that is really our charge in life. And it suits the cattle, so it's not only smart from an ecological point of view, I think it's smart from a business point of view to have that cafeteria out there for these cows to graze on and for us to make hay to get them through the winter.
The first occupation the good Lord gave us was farming, and that didn't only mean to farm the ground, but also to care for the wildlife and for the natural resources that we have.
That's a tough job. I can see why one might think, with all that capital expense and all that machinery and repair bills and USDA control and so on, that maybe people are looking for something a little bit different.
We're not looking at doing a bunch of expensive dirt work and buying a bunch of seed and fertilizer. This is a crop that will continue forever, and we'll have something to pass on.
We have to have some grasslands, and I think it's for the sake of who we are as North Dakotans, that livestock always has a place in this economy. We raise cattle because, you know, we're cowboys and we have been for 4 generations, and it's what we do. We're proud to produce beef, and we think we have a nutritious product that really has a place on the plate for Americans and people around the world.
Many people come to us and say, well, we didn't know there were any alternatives to corn and soybean farming here. It's what everybody does. And we said, well, we think there is an alternative here.
We've been rotational grazing now, I suppose, 15 years. But most people, they think it's more work than what it's going to be.
I'm heartened by the response that we get from producers. We also get a few questions about, you mean you're grassing down good corn land when the prices are $8 a bushel? And we say we're looking at taking the long view here. Not just the short-term profit, but the long-term sustainable approach to farming.
It's certainly about more than money, because if it was just about money, we wouldn't still be here. I'm glad to raise children on this place where they can still hear a meadowlark sing and see a goose nest down on the lake. If you see a covey of sharp-tailed grouse raised in the pasture that you own, that means something to you. These are things that give meaning to our lives and give meaning to us as cattle ranchers.
As a landowner in the prairies today, am I going to see my land being farmed by a big corporate farm in the future, or am I going to see it being raised by a family that cares just like I cared all my life? To do that, you probably got to make a few sacrifices yourselves, but that's where the government can also help.
Hopefully in the mix of things as these components of the Farm Bill are debated, that we don't forget about conservation and we don't forget about the place that grass has.
We are losing native prairies at an alarming rate, and through grassland easements and such, we're able to put the stop on some of that.
The grassland easements have given us a way to continue to preserve what's here, what was here before we were all here. If we can have those easements to help improve the land, we can protect the land from being broken and in return make improvements on the land.
This country's changed a lot and always has, and let's make sure, I think, as change goes forward, that we don't lose what makes this place special.
Well, I think if the time to change, the time is now. Encouraging more people to keep the grassland, keep the prairie, or at least trying to keep those that are changing over their prairie into cropland at a minimum. If any time is right, the time's now.
It kind of reminds me of a Lakota proverb, treat the land well, for you do not inherit it from your ancestors, you borrow it from your children.